Hey guys, my name is Jules. I go to the Park Meadows campus, the best campus, and we are so glad you're here joining us for youth today. I cannot wait to see what God has in store for you. So lean in, press in, and let's worship.
Woo! Hey, Red Rocks Youth! Hey, we're so happy you guys are joining us tonight. Don't be afraid to get a little groovy, okay? Come on. I was lost with a broken heart. You picked me up, now I'm set apart. And from the ash I am born again, forever safe in the Savior's hands. You are more than my words could say. I'll follow you, Lord, for all my days. I'll fix my eyes, following your way. Forever free in unending grace. Come on! 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, we lift you higher. Your love, your love, your love, never ending. Oh, oh, you are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh. Come on, I know you know it. Let's go. In the midst of the darkest night, let your love be my shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You send your son down to set me free. 'Cause everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face, and I will live that your will be done. And I won't stop till your kingdom come. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, we lift you higher. Your love, your love, your love, never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. All right. So if David can dance before the Lord, so can you. So I don't know where you're at right now. All right? But let's shake off our week. Let's shake off any shame you're feeling, any guilt, because his love is for you. Come on. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, we lift you higher. Never ending. Oh, oh. You are life in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. You are life in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. Red Rocks Youth, what is up? Hey, we are so glad that you're joining us today. We are back at it with Convos. If you haven't been with us before, we are doing this series right now called Convos, where we bring some of your peers, some of your friends and classmates, maybe even some of your enemies, Brock. But we all come together and we just hang out for a little bit and we talk about something that's going on in culture today. So today we're calling this talk Back at It. Do you guys remember that whole video, back at it with the white vans? No? Yes. Nobody remembers that? Thank you, Jules. Anyway, so we're kind of talking about back at it, meaning, hey, we're back at it with school.
We're back at it with sports, with all this stuff happening. And so we just want to talk about how everyone's doing in this season. And so before I go any further, though, I would love for you guys to introduce yourselves. So we'll start here. And if you could just say your name, campus, and since we're talking about being back at school, you might as well just share your most embarrassing story at school, okay? Can you do that?
I can.
All right, start us off.
So, my name is Jules. I go to the Park Meadows campus, the best
Hey-o.
campus.
We
And
suck.
my embarrassing story, I really had to think hard on this one, but one time in 6th grade, I liked this boy who was 2 years older than me.
Whoa, shooting for the moon, Jules.
I guess so. And he was kind of not very nice. And so one day he was like, meet me in the gym after school. Because we like had this time where we would go to the gym. I went to a charter school, so you had to get like called out by the numbers and all that.
Yeah.
So we would go to the gym, and he was like, meet me there after school. And sometimes we would play games like dodgeball. And I go to the gym, and I'm like, you know how in middle school you like plan when you're gonna like hug your like guy that you like?
Sure.
That's always awkward.
I guess.
We did that, and so I was like, I'm gonna get a hug. And so I go, and he threw a dodgeball at my face, and then he was like, I don't like you. And then
And then that was it, huh?
Yeah.
You walked away heartless and with a broken face.
yeah,
That's
how he decided to tell me he did not like me.
I think that's more sad than embarrassing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it was
Jules.
embarrassing though, because people talked about it for a long time after.
Amazing. Next.
Hi, I'm Janine, and I go to Lakewood campus, and I think my most embarrassing story is when, like, I'm just clumsy, so I fall everywhere, and we always went in, like, class lines, and I fell going down the stairs.
All the way down the stairs?
Yeah.
How bad?
I just rolled.
You know what's bad when you're, like, rolling?
Yeah.
It's not just you're just fall. I can't talk. It's not just like falling flat on your face. You're actually rolling. That's terrible. I'm sorry that happened to you. All right, mister.
My name is Brock. I go to the Arvada campus, and my most embarrassing story happened last week. We were on Zoom, and I was with a bunch of my friends.
For school?
For school.
Okay.
And the teacher was like, unmute yourself to say like present or like here. And so I did. And then my friend passed gas like really, really loud, like on the camera. And the whole class heard it. And it was really bad.
So they thought it was you though? Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's so funny. Did you acknowledge it or did you just act like nothing happened?
I unmuted myself, flipped my camera around, and almost cried. So.
That's awesome. It's all you, man.
What's up? My name's Mason. I'm here at the Littleton campus.
Hey-o.
What up? And I'm homeschooled now, but I think my most embarrassing memory from when I was in elementary school was I was trying to impress this girl that I liked, right?
Of course,
Okay?
sure.
Now, picture me, 3rd grade Mason, just super dope.
You're probably as ripped then as you are now.
Oh, even more.
Okay,
yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
That's
I've been
great.
slacking since then. But I was like, there was this girl, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna impress her. I'm gonna like do a little parkour thing over this desk, and I was just gonna like kind of slide. I was just gonna kind of like slide on it, you know,
Yeah.
all cool. But the desk was not sturdy, and I like slid on it. The desk fell over. I fell over. It was really loud. And I was just on the floor, just looking at the ceiling, just
Terrible.
pain.
Dude, that's sad.
It was really
I'll share mine real quick, even though you guys actually had some really great stories. I'll just say mine, just so you all feel better about your life. I have so many. I pooped my pants one time. That was real bad. That's a different story, though, for a different day. When I was in school, though, I had really bad acne, so I hated my life, basically, is what I'm saying. But there was one time, I was in 7th grade, same thing. There was a girl I liked, and I had a really bad zit that was like right here next to my lip. And it was right after lunch, and I'm standing there in the hallway, and this girl I like, she walks over to me, and she's like trying to be all nice, but she goes, hey, it looks like you have like some jelly on your face. Just clearly talking about my zit. And so now I'm like, do I acknowledge that it's a zit to her and be like, oh no, it's a zit? Do I like try to wipe it away and it like doesn't go away? Do I just not say anything, put my head down? And I froze, had no idea what to say, so I literally just put my head down and walked away. Like that's terrible. Just Completely hopeless. Isn't that so sad? Terrible. I hate it.
Really sad.
Thanks, Jules. All right, we got that out of the way. So now we're family. So now we're all best friends. It's amazing. So, hey, we're going to talk about school and what life is like right now in school, because honestly, I feel like school right now, it's like for you guys, it's what even is it? You know, it's like sometimes you have classes on this day, sometimes you don't. What's happening here? What's happening there? And it's actually really sad though, because I was reading some articles and it talked about how your generation right now, for high schoolers specifically, you guys are going through so much anxiety and stress in your life right now. And it's really tough when you already experience anxiety and stress when it has to do with peer pressure, right? I was reading one article. It talked about how a lot of students right now, they are struggling with academic pressure. They struggle with pressure to look good. I know that was my biggest thing. There was pressure to fit in socially. There's also pressure to drink or to not drink, to party or to not party. And so kids are constantly feeling this pressure at school. And there was one article I found, and it literally talked about how you guys experience more stress as a high schooler than the average adult does. Like, that's crazy. You guys as teenagers are experiencing more stress mentally than an adult who has like a 9-to-5 job, has to pay insurance, has to pay the bills, has to provide for a family. And this test showed that you guys mentally are experiencing more stress than an adult. It's crazy. And so now when you take that, right, there's that layer to it. And now there's a whole nother layer of COVID where your whole world of school just got flipped upside down. It's kind of weird and it's stressful. And I feel like it's important for us to come together and talk about it, because I think a lot of kids want to talk about that they're upset with the COVID guidelines. They might be upset with the stress and the anxiety that they're feeling, but they don't really know they could talk about it. And so kind of the goal of today is for us just to create an environment for you guys watching to talk to your life group leader, to talk to one of your fellow friends, classmates, teammate, whatever it might be, and kind of share about what's going on and how you're feeling. And so we're going to get real. Can we get real? Is that fine, Jules? Okay, hopefully we'll get real. All right, this is going to be a super easy, soft toss first question for you guys. But I want to first talk about what's been like the best and the worst part about being back at school in this season.
I'll start.
Thank you, Jules.
I think the best part is just finally getting to do something and be around people.
Sure.
I think I'm a big extrovert, and so not being around people like during the summer and just like sitting at home and, you know, just being with family the entire time, which isn't the worst thing, could be worse, but
Sure.
being able to go somewhere almost every day and like hang out with your friends, and it feels almost normal.
Yeah, totally.
I think the best part is like getting to take naps sometimes.
During school?
No, like, cause you have like free breaks. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. Since it's not as like structured, you're able to take a nap.
Yeah.
Nice. How long naps we talking here?
Like 30 minutes, just
Solid.
enough.
That's strong. It's a good cat nap right there.
I think the best part about being back at school is just like really being able to like hang out with your friends and like being super social. It's just like summer was really boring, so.
Sure. That social aspect just helps a little bit. Yeah. What about you, Mason?
For me, I think it's the best part is just like finally being back on schedule.
Yeah.
Like for me, just I like knowing what's going on.
Sure.
I like having guidelines to follow, but I feel like when there was nothing going on, it was just kind of like I was just like, what do I do?
Yeah, for sure.
Being able to kind of come back and have a schedule.
Yeah.
And just come in and get stuff done. I think that's
that's
the
good.
best part for sure.
You guys like having a routine? Like, is that something you guys like to have?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Guys, you can talk. It's okay. What about worst? What about worst parts? Let's talk about worst.
I think
Be real.
The worst part is I'm a perfectionist, and they don't give us a lot of time on our work.
Okay.
So I just overthink it, and I get really stressed out.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like he said he likes being in a routine, but you're homeschooled, and so like it's about different for you this year.
Sure.
Because it's kind of the same as always. I think for me, the worst part is the fact that there's not structure. I feel like the teachers and the staff and the kids, like, we all don't know what we're doing. We don't know how things are going to work out. It's like the constant just unknown is really stressful, and I think that's the worst part, because even like at my school, there are groups of kids having to quarantine because people have gotten like corona, and so then like you never know if that's going to be you. You never know, like, if that's going to be one of your teachers, which is super weird. So for me, that's the worst part, because I do love schedules and like, plans and all of that and routine. And so it's weird to have the feeling of you don't know, but also like the teachers don't know either, and they're the people that are supposed to know. So
so you feel like there's just this common like questioning that everyone's walking in, where it's like, do you have it? Do you not have it? If you have it, is the whole school going to shut down? All that stuff.
Even with like assignments and stuff, like teachers, they're like, have you done the assignment? Because I go 2 days a week. So they're like, did you do it? Some people did, some people didn't. So even like the little things, people just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's just no accountability.
There's no accountability, and it's kind of just like a big question mark.
Yeah, that's tough.
So, yeah, I probably should have mentioned that, is the fact that I'm homeschooled. So it's just a little bit different. Yeah, that's why my highs and my lows are probably different from everybody else here, just because it's just a different environment. For me, I think the worst part about it, like it is most years, is that like as soon as we get started, usually my school days are shorter than my friends. Right. So a lot of times I'm just like chilling by myself. Yeah. So all my friends are kind of like getting tied up now, and it's like, it's just kind of like, all right, well, here we go again. Yeah. So.
Do you like, though, that a lot of the students right now are taking classes online, so now you can kind of relate to them a little more, and you can like speak into that, talk to them, kind of encourage them in that?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I mean, I can name probably 3 friends just right off the top of my head that are just like, you know what, like I'm doing this all online, and they've come to me just kind of like asking for like some advice on basically how to do it. Yeah. Like how do you manage your time and stuff like that. So
no, it's good.
Yeah, it's definitely nice being able to like communicate with them more though.
For sure.
But then again, it's not everybody that's all fully online. So.
Can I put you on the spot for a second? Can I have you give one piece of advice for everyone watching who's like, I've never done online school before. I don't know what it looks like. What do I do? Could you give just like one piece of advice for them?
Just manage your time. I think for me, like I try and plan out my days in like 3 parts. So I have like my academic part of the day, and then I have like kind of my free part of the day, and then like training or gym or, whatever that may be, kind of like athletic part of the day. Yeah, yeah. So I just like to basically plan my schedule out ahead of time, just like set a certain amount of time for each area of the day. So like if I want to start school at this time, I got to finish it at this time. Yeah. So just plan your days accordingly and take it day by day. I say just worry about the present. Don't think about, the future and what might happen. Just focus on the moment. So.
It's good, man. I love that. Brock, what about you? What's been the worst part about being back?
I think the worst part is like not being able to connect with your teachers, because like I really get stressed about like work, and I think being able to like talk to your teachers and get help from them like in person is like a really good way to like cope with that. So I feel like not being around with like teachers and stuff is like really hard for me. Yeah. And another thing is like I go to school 2 days a week, and then I do online the other 2. So it's like I don't see half the kids in my school, and it's really hard because I have a lot of friends that don't go to school with me. Yeah, yeah. So
you feel like you're kind of missing that social aspect to it. Yeah, totally. Has that been weird for you guys to connect with your teachers online? Has that been tough?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really rough.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. I already couldn't stand my teacher, so do it online, that would be terrible. Would you just like be honest for a second? Do you feel like you're more stressed in this season with school picking back up than you were during summertime? Like, where's your stress level been at with school kicking back up?
I think it's a lot higher. Yeah. But that's just because like it's like a new story. Like we haven't been to school in months. Sure. So it's like, and it's like online. It's really new. I'm like not used to it. Super stressed and overwhelming.
So it's not just you're going back to school, it's you're going back to a whole new way of doing school. And that's just kind of weighing on you. Yeah, I get that.
I think it comes and goes. I think it's a different kind of stress for me because normally I would be stressed out about like not having enough time to do things and assignments and hang out with friends and like work or whatever. But now I have so much time, and then when I don't manage it, then I get stressed that I didn't manage my time. So it's a weird thing. And then like stress about the unknown of like what's going to happen. Is school going to get shut down again? Like you just never know with this season. So that's where my stress comes from. And so it's a new kind of stress, which is also stressful.
Sure. Yeah. You're stressed because you're stressed about something new. Yeah. So what could be better? It's awesome.
I feel like I was more stressed in the summer just because we didn't have church, and I kind of felt like I lost purpose. Like there was nothing to do.
Sure.
But now that school's coming back, it's a little stressful, but I feel like it's something to do, and it keeps me on track. Okay,
so you're saying with school happening in your life, it now gives you something to look forward to, something to think about. It kind of like gives you some motivation.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. What about you? Stress level. He's like, what are we talking about? Do you feel more stressed with school and stuff picking back up?
Not really. For me, it's like, it's kind of like, because of my sport. That's why I'm homeschooled is because of my sports, and it's a year-round thing for me. It's not like there's a specific season where sports really picks up.
Okay.
So my tournaments and my performances, everything is year-round.
Right.
So I'm constantly doing school throughout the year. I never really have like, people have summer break. I keep doing schoolwork throughout that time because of the time that I've lost. Now, this year, way different because all of my competitions have been canceled.
Right, yeah, you're not traveling.
Not traveling at all, not doing anything. So I've had basically seasons where I'm like, hey, I have free time. Like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of stresses me out to a point where I'm like, I have free time. What do I do with it? I'm not doing anything with it. And it's
you don't know what to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I started working, I think it's 5 days a week. I work now, and I teach karate.
Oh, nice.
Online. So
that's awesome.
That's kind of something that I picked up. That's kind of keeping me, in line, and I love it. So
no, that's awesome.
Giving back to the community.
What's like the vibe at your schools? So I know like you walk into like the hallways, and obviously you don't see everyone. But when you walk into the hallways, do you feel kind of like, wow, everyone's on edge, or is it like pretty laid back? Like, what's kind of the overall feel right now at all of your high schools and just how everyone's doing with all that?
I feel like at my school, because there's like so many things in question, like nobody knows what's happening, kids just started not caring because it's like if I stress myself out over the fact that nobody knows what's happening, then it's not worth it. And so I think it's more of like a laid back, chill vibe because nobody really like cares enough anymore at my school.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I feel like it's better than like walking into like everyone on edge and everyone stressed out.
Yeah.
So I think that's better, but it definitely depends on the person.
Yeah, totally. What about you guys?
I do all online, but I feel like the kids on there are like really, they don't pay attention, and I feel like it's careless.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What made you decide to go all online? Did you think about going into the school or no?
I have asthma. My mom didn't want me going in because she didn't want me getting pneumonia from corona.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I think at my school, I feel like a lot of people are in like shock. Like what do we do with our time? Like, why are we only like in school for this long? And like my school last year is like we go to 8 classes a day, but now we only go to 4, but they're like double the like length, and it's just like a lot of people are like really don't know what to do. It's really different.
It's like culture shock. It's like, what am I supposed to do here? I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, totally. How do you guys ultimately feel about like the COVID guideline stuff at school?
Not the greatest.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. For me, I think athletics is a big part of my life, and having everything kind of shut down as far as like gyms and training sessions, and also like my free time. I like going places with my friends and being able to like create experiences and stuff like that. So not being able to kind of like, I don't know, decompress, I guess.
Yeah, kind of get away.
Get away.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I just feel like I've been kind of stuck just because I can't go anywhere, and it's like there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the major thing. Doing all online teaching is weird too.
It's tough, man. Yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah.
I have to teach 7 to 9 year olds. Like it is not
That's
great.
terrible. Yeah.
I can't like, you know.
Sure. Do you guys kind of feel like you're just like trapped in like a bubble?
Yes.
With all like the COVID stuff and you can't get out? Is that kind of how you guys feel? Yeah. It's tough. What about you? What do you think?
I feel like personally, I don't really agree with the guidelines. Like, I don't mind wearing a mask, but like the 6 feet apart, I feel like that should be a choice, because it's like we're already choosing to go back to school, and like to have that risk, and like we're walking in the halls, not 6 feet. So the fact that like we can't have lunch, we can't have
that's tough.
Sport games, like it's just really.
Do people actually follow the 6 feet thing in the hallways and stuff?
Well, in the hallways at my school, we don't have to like be 6 feet apart, but like in the classrooms, like all the desks are like made for 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's really stupid.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for you guys, for sure.
Same, I agree. I think it's kind of, I feel like people aren't thinking like fully through everything, because it's like, yeah, the desks are 6 feet apart, but in the hallways we're all like crammed together, and then it's like, couldn't we be 6 feet apart at a football game? Like, why can't we do football games? And so it's a lot of like questions, and then like, if my teacher has to quarantine because of another student, why don't I have to?
Right.
Because she's my teacher, and like she came in contact. So it's really confusing. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't mind wearing a mask either, but like I feel like it's all kind of weird and not well thought out. And like, yeah, we're choosing to go to school. Like, you can choose if you want to do online school or not. Like, we chose to take the risk and go into school. So like, why not make it as normal as possible?
Yeah. I'll just say this to you guys and to all of you watching. I get that it's like weird, it's hard, it's frustrating, but I just think now is a time for all of us to have so much grace for everybody, even for the schools. Cause like no one has a clue like what to do, you know, it's like just all trial and error, you know, and it's hard for the teachers. It's hard for the principals. It's hard for everyone at the school, because school has legit been like this way for years. For years and years and years, it was always this way. And now that whole way has just been blown up and out of proportion, like it just can't happen anymore. And so I would encourage you guys, as you walk in the hallways, or for you with like online with your classmates really not engaging stuff, just like have that mindset of none of us have been here before, so we don't really know what to do and what's going on. So I'm going to have grace for you, even though you might be annoying me because you are doing 6 feet or you're not doing 6 feet, or you are wearing a mask, you're not wearing a mask. Like, I think it's important for us as people of Red Rocks Youth and as students to put our front foot forward and say, hey, you know what? Like, I'm going to have grace for you today, and I'm going to choose to believe the best in you today. And even if it might be annoying and whatnot, I'm going to like walk in this best mentality, because man, we're all just like clueless trying to figure this thing out. But I get it. It's tough and it's hard and it's frustrating. And I know all of us are feeling that, but you know, you guys share a little bit like of what you're feeling. And I know everyone watching are also feeling that too, but I want to just take a second. I want to ask you guys, how would you encourage all the students watching, you know, who are kind of feeling those frustrations that you're feeling, who are struggling, not being able to have an escape, struggling with doing online and people aren't paying attention, struggling with the distancing and whatnot. How would you encourage some of those kids that are watching this? What would you say to them?
I'll go first. Maybe try something new. I mean, I think now is a great time more than ever just to get outside of your comfort zone and try out some new things in life.
Yeah, it's good, man.
So, I mean, that's something that I've been doing. I don't know if you guys could tell this, but I wasn't much of a reader, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But I've picked up several books, and I was just like, you know what, why not?
Yeah, it's good, man.
So I've started reading more, and I feel like it's definitely changed my life, and hopefully for the better, and hopefully I can continue to keep doing this, assuming everything goes back to normal. And but yeah, I think just trying out new things,
It's awesome,
trying
man.
to become a better person.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I agree. I think like finding something that helps you the best way to like decompress, whether that's like hanging out with one or two friends that you can hang out with, you know, everything as normal as possible, or like getting a job or reading or like something new that is only for you to just like, that's what you do when you get stressed out.
Yeah,
like
that's
for
good.
me, I love working. It's my favorite thing to do. So like if I find that I'm not working a lot one week and I have like a free day, I'll like pick up a shift and go work, because it's like hanging out with my friends at work is just decompressing and like fun for me. And so I think just finding
That's
something
awesome.
that helps you as best as possible feel normal and feel like everything's going to be okay, that's something that's really important to do.
Yeah, that's really good.
I would just say, like, try to make yourself mentally happy, because it's like, I don't know, but just try to make yourself mentally happy so that you're not as stressed during school and like you're not overthinking everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would encourage those to be like social. Like, I know, like, for me, I love like detoxing to my friends, and like some people like shut themselves out in a time like this, but I
Right.
just really would say reach out to people, because there are people that care. Like, sometimes it seems like, especially in a time like this, that everybody's kind of in it for themselves, but there's people that are struggling with the same things you are, like stress and all that.
Yeah.
And so like I would just suggest to be social and
Yeah.
make new friends and go out of your comfort zone and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's good. I love it, because all you guys are kind of saying, I mean, even you talked about working, just to give you something to do. You talked about working and getting a comfort zone and finding a good mental state. I think there's just practical things that we can do in this season. You know, I think a lot of times when students especially think to themselves like, oh, I'm in COVID right now and I have to do school online. There's nothing for me to do. I might as well just sit back and go on my phone and kind of close in for a little bit. But I think it's just the truth, right? There's always outlets. There's always things we can do. Even if you might not want to work at Chick-fil-A, even though Jules swears it's the best thing on earth.
It is.
Like, it's good to do though, right? You know, like it's good to get out of the house and to go work and to make some money and to hang out with people and do that stuff. So that's awesome. I love it. Here's my last question for you guys, because I want to end on kind of like a pastoral note for you guys to kind of just share. What do you think are some practical ways that you can reach the people in your community, whether it's through karate or through working or doing online school or even with your family, whatever the case may be? Like, what are just some practical ways that you guys think that you can use to reach out and to just speak hope and encouragement into the people that are in your community and in your world?
I think, and I've like implemented this into like what I do, is giving people encouragement in any way possible, because everybody right now is feeling some sort of way, stressed, worried. They hate life right now, like anything, because it's so new. Like, you know that every single person in and around you is feeling some type of way about what's going on, whether it's good or bad, you know, anything. And so giving people encouragement is so important. And so like giving someone a compliment that you see in the hall, like that will make their whole entire day. I know, like, one day I was really feeling crappy and I was like, I don't want to be at school. It's weird. I don't want to like wear a mask right now. Like, I just want to go home and like sleep the day away, because I don't feel like being awake right now. Like, I'm having a really bad day, and someone like complimented my outfit, and then my whole entire day was flipped upside down, and I had an amazing day. And so just like walking into school, give someone a compliment. It'll make you feel good about yourself, and it'll make them feel good about themselves. And you can even go deeper, like with your friends. Even you could be like, I just really love you, and I love how you're like handling this season. And I think it's really, really important to lean into friendships and to lean into family and everything right now, because everybody is struggling. And so just being that person that's like giving them encouragement and just like handing out compliments.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think to kind of go with that, that brings up a really good point. Like, what can I do to change someone's life? But I think for me, like, when you think about something like that, like it has to start with you. Like it starts with me and what I can do. You can't wait for something to happen.
Yeah, that's good, man.
You know, because it might it might not happen. You never know. You never know what could happen. So waking up like with the mindset of how can I change somebody's life today, or how can I affect somebody's day in a positive way. I think that's the mindset that we kind of got to have. Is just, you know, it all starts with me.
Yeah, it's good, man. I love it.
I think like some of the simple things, just like reaching out, like a simple text or like a Snapchat, just like letting people know you care. And like, especially in a time like this, just like invite people to do stuff, invite them like park nights or like even like hang out, just like even with people you usually don't associate yourself with. Absolutely. And that could make somebody feel like really good, because you don't know what other people are going through. Like they could be really alone. Right. They may not show that. So it's just a really good way to just reach out to people and just, like she said, just like give a compliment and just like try to like make people happy and like change their lives like day through day.
Yeah, that's good, man.
I would agree and say that like just encouraging each other to do better and like work with each other.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like, you know, a little goes a long way. You know, I think a lot of times we think, oh, it's just a compliment, or it's just sending a text, or it's just making sure that my friend's doing okay with homework or whatnot. Like, but honestly, that does go such a long way, especially in our world today. So I love it. I just want to just end with this, just encourage all of you guys watching. Jesus says in Matthew 11, he just says, come to me, all you who are weary and are burdened, and I will give you rest. And I think a lot of times people think God is just up in heaven, and what he does is he just like slaps everyone on the back and been like, go get him, Tiger. Best of luck to you. And it's like, sweet, thanks. Glad I'm doing this all by myself. But in reality, like with what Jesus is saying, like, hey, no, when you walk with me, like there'll be rest for your soul. When you walk with me, there'll be peace, there'll be joy. And so no matter where you're at, just know that like Jesus, God, the creator of the world, he legit wants to do life every single day with you. Like he's waking up every day with you being like, okay, let's go have a great day. Let's go take the world together. Let's seize the day. Let's walk in joy. Let's walk in peace. Let's be a light. Let's encourage. Let's give compliments. Let's change somebody's life today. Like, even though life is hard, life is chaotic, you have Jesus on your side who is willing and wanting and ready to do life with you. And so never forget that. Mason, can you pray for us just as we close, and then we'll get out of here?
Sure. All right. This is a new thing for me. Here we go. God, thank you so much for allowing all of us to come together today and to relate with each other and just kind of talk about the current situation. I think that it was a really good opportunity to get in front of, you know, all of the other kids and inspire some people today. So I appreciate you making this happen. I appreciate everybody at Red Rocks Youth. Thank you for allowing us to come together today and just, you know, have a great conversation. So thanks again. Love you. Amen.
Amen. Hey, Red Rocks Youth, let's worship.
We've seen what you can do, oh God of wonders. Your power has no end. Things you've done before in greater measure, you will do again. 'Cause there's no prison, no wall you can't break through, no mountain you can't move. All things are possible. There's no broken body you can't raise, and no soul you can't save. All things are possible. The darkest night, you can light it up. You can light it up. God of revival, let hope arise. Death is overcome. victory, and now you're seated forever on the throne. So why should my heart fear what you defeated? I will trust in you alone, 'cause there's no prison wall you can't break through, no mountain you can't move. All things are possible. There's no broken body you can't raise, no soul you can't save. All things are possible. The darkest night, you can light it up. You can light it up. God of revival, let hope arise. Death is overcome. You've already won. God of revival. God, we want revival in this city, in our hearts, Lord. Change our hearts. Let us love like you do. Come on, let's sing this together. Come awaken your people. Come awaken the city. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Every stronghold will crumble. I hear the chains hit the ground. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Come awaken your people. Come awaken the city. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Every stronghold will crumble. I hear the chains hit the ground. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. The darkest night, and you can light it up. You can light it up. God of revival, let hope arise. Death is overcome. You've already won. God of revival, come awaken your people. Come awaken the city. God of revival, every stronghold will crumble. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it
Red Rocks Youth, that was such an amazing panel. We hope you felt encouraged that we are all in this season together. Man, that you're challenged to make someone's day, put a smile on someone's face. But hey, we have some exciting things for Red Rocks Youth this upcoming month. Mark your calendar, September 30th. We are starting a relationship series, okay? If you want to get advice from Casey Fink in your relationship area, maybe even me, maybe some advice from me, you need to tune in September 30th. But before that, next week, we have a little snack, a little taster for what's to come in that relationship series. So join us, IGTV, next week. We will be going live. So make sure you follow us on Instagram. Hey, and DM us if this conversation made you curious, interested, maybe even a little discouraged in this season. We want to hear from you. So go ahead and DM us. We would love to walk through this season with you. We love you guys. Tune in next week.